Welcome to the JCPod. I'm your host, Jaden Chandler Parnell, and hey, man, we're down to the last breakdown. I got a little NFC South Breakdown for you. Talk about a little bit of NFL action, and hey, man, we're basically chilling till the NFL season. Really excited about that. So yeah, like I said, today's plan, reverse the order of what I said. NFL news, NFC South Breakdown. I had to double check even though I just said it. Then yeah, next week we'll probably talk about some college football, because that starts next week. Talk about some futures. A lot of good planned stuff. A lot of planned stuff upcoming. Football is literally right around the corner. And every episode we're getting closer, baby. So yeah, without any further ado, we'll probably just hop straight into the NFL news. So yeah, also, by the way, before we get into the NFL news, another preseason tonight. We got the Cleveland Browns versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Not bad. No idea who's going to start. No idea how much Deshaun Watson's going to play at all, so we'll see. Rodgers not worried about the Jets O-line. He says he calls it a work in progress. We'll see. I mean, that's definitely, they got called out in Hard Knocks. For those of you watching along with the Hard Knocks series, the offensive line got basically called out in front of the room by Saleh. And, I mean, they're basically just like, he basically just told them, like, hey, you're the reason, you guys are basically the weak link. I mean, obviously he didn't say those words exactly, but that's basically about the gist of the message. Like, basically, hey, you guys are the weak link right now. Pick your shit up. Because everyone else seems to be here and you guys are here. And it was just something like that. I'm really interested to see how how much better it gets, because they can figure out their line, man. After signing Dalvin Cook those Jets could be special. Jonathan Taylor's excused from the Colts training camp to address a personal matter. Not clear what it is. I'm not going to try to speculate either if it's not something serious, but it's just crazy, man. The more this goes on, I hope they bring him back, but seriously, I remember when I said, man, Jonathan Taylor's a steal in the draft. Get that guy in the second round. I mean, he's going to be amazing for the Colts, and he has been so far. Had one really bad last year, and now it's just all this. Man, bro, it just sucks. Because now, like, he's getting to the borderline. Like I said, this has nothing to do with personal matter. This just has to do with the fact that he's not in the building and everything still. He could have been in the building before this, and then this happened, I wouldn't have said a word. But because of everything that's been going down, it just sucks. He's going from a steal of the draft to, like, man, did we just draft like a running back that was good for a few years and we're just going to move on from him? I remember, I really went to one of the Colts game I went to. I was deciding between a DeForest Buckner jersey or Jonathan Taylor jersey. Sure enough, I ended up choosing my boy DeForest Buckner. Shout out. And, man, the fact that I'm even questioning, like, man, I'm kind of glad I did that sucks, man, because I really wanted Jonathan Taylor to be great for us. I still hope he can be. He still can be. Jim Irsay will pay his guys if they really do show up. It's just he's going to have to start showing up and doing something. Hopefully this personal matter, like I said, is nothing serious. Then we can get him back and showing up because, man, the Colts offense would love to have him back. The Titans, Burks suffers an LCL sprain. He's going to be only miss a few weeks, but with the season so close, he's going to miss a little bit of time. He's supposed to have a big role with DeAndre Hopkins being the number 2. Very, very promising for him this season, so hopefully he can get back healthy, because yeah, he could have a really good year. Devontae Adams is back after missing some time with injury, so he should be all good to go. Antonio Gates has entered the Chargers Hall of Fame. I like the Chargers team Hall of Fame. That's really, really awesome. I would not be shocked if we see him. He's the 41st member enshrined in the Chargers Hall of Fame, joining Kellen Winslow Jr., Sale, LaDainian Tomlinson. I would not be shocked if he ends up in the NFL Hall of Fame at some point here soon. Just because of how good he was. It's really awesome. They came in and gave him a speech. Well, they brought him in for a speech and everything. He goes and gives him a speech. He had no idea. They told him that he was inducted into the their Hall of Fame. That was truly awesome, man, watching that video. Almost got me a little teary-eyed this morning, man. That was just truly awesome to watch. I mean, for those of you who know Antonio Gates and watched him, I mean, he was, don't get me wrong, towards the end of his career, he was a little slow because he was a little old, but that boy was a dog, man. Dude was really awesome. Him and Philip Rivers were an awesome tandem. Like I said, man, truly awesome for him. Shout out Antonio Gates, man. That's just awesome, man. Oh, something that's also awesome. Deion Sanders, this doesn't really have to do with the NFL, but he basically got on 2 of his guys for not fighting, and I know that sounds bad, but he just likes to. He went in basically, it was after there was a little brawl that happened between a receiver and a DB, I believe. And it led to this whole little skirmish and eventually broke up. And Deion Sanders was like, hey, I saw 2 of you walk that way while one of your teammates was in the fight. We don't do that around here, basically is what he said. And he got on there, asked a little bit about it, which is truly awesome, because at the end of the day, the way you think about it is like you're a family. I mean, a football team is a family. So like one of your guys are getting picked on. You want to make sure they're doing okay. Now, mind you, this was a team practice, so I mean, yes, it might sound awful, but I mean, like, it's one of those things where, like, football, it's starting to get more understood now. Like, hey, football's a violent sport. Stuff will happen. Like, I get they're trying to make it safer and stuff, but hey, especially, like, NFL-wise, especially with the joint practice, like, fights are going to happen. I mean, it's just, when you go against the same guys every single day with so much, I mean, tension's eventually going to build up, especially usually in the offensive D-line. I got into, I can't tell you, I mean, I roomed with an offensive lineman, and there was a practice I remember, like, I wanted to kill the dude for a minute, and then you literally go in the locker room, everything, like, basically flushes, you don't even think about it, and then you just move on and all that. But Deion Sanders brought up a really good point, like, hey, I want to see you two over there with him. Just mainly for the fact that, like, he wants to see his teammates, like, together. He wants to see the team together, because usually if the team's together, that's a really good sign of things to come. Sorry, by the way, I have something in my eye, so you're going to probably have to see me blink this whole time. I mean, seriously, I cannot get this thing out. It's like attacking my left eye. 2 injury news, though. Sad thing. Russell Gage is going to miss the 2023 season for sure. It was rumored next year that he couldn't put any... Oh, not. It was rumored yesterday, from what I heard, that he had a non-contact injury. Couldn't put any weight in his leg, and now it's official. He was carted off the field, and it's... I don't think they fully said what it was, but it's for sure he's out for the season now. Injury is going to be Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Devin Tompkins, and rookie Trey Palmer. So those are going to be the main receivers this year. Another injury, Marlon Humphrey. Only going to miss the start of the season, but he's getting something done on his foot, which I think was a Liz Frank strain or something like that, which might take a little bit of time. I don't know. They were talking about it a little bit on the Pat McAfee show, and I wasn't sure if he actually had it, if they were just like, oh, that's what it sounds like. But Marlon Humphrey's going to be missing a little bit of time. He hopefully should be okay, though. He just needs to get surgery done, get it cleaned up. But like I said, he's going to miss the first 1 to 3 weeks, so it's going to be a little rough start for a very thin Ravens cornerback room, as they already have a few guys injured. Like, speaking of, Max Crosby and Cam Akers got into a punching fight. I'd love to see it, but I don't think it's anywhere. But like I said, training camp, you can expect this fight to happen. By the way, for those of you who don't know, this is something that's been brought up to light a little bit more. Christian Wilkinson is holding in, I believe. He's not participating in team drills due to his contract situation. He's a really good player. They're going to really want him to, like, basically come back and play. So hopefully they can figure out a contract with him. I would not be shocked if it only takes a little bit longer. Joel Benito said the Eagles were taking cheap shots at Deshaun Watson and others at the practice. So there's a little bit of drama brewing between the Browns and Eagles, which I believe those are the two teams that play tonight, I believe. Let me double check that. Yeah, those are two teams that play tonight. Apparently this came out as, like, things also got chippy at the practice between some wide receivers. And then it's just like Watson basically, I'm trying to figure out what it said. They basically were saying, like, they were knocking the ball out of his hands, and apparently they're being, like, a little bit aggressive with it, trying to, like, I don't know, I don't want to say they're trying to hurt him, but there was one, for example, where he's like, defensive end Josh Sweat knocked the ball out of Deshaun Watson's hand, and then they all agree that quarterbacks aren't supposed to be touched. That's one of the biggest things you learn, especially in, like, the higher you get up, high school. I don't know how it is now. When I grew up, like, we could touch the quarterback a little bit, but you were trying to stay off him. Like, you can give him, like, and then college, it's like, hey, you're only touching him really with the hand. If that NFL, I'm sure it's like, hey, no, just don't even touch him. So yeah, here them smacking the hands and everything. I'm very interested. That should be it's gonna be very interesting to see those guys, see what happens if it takes out in the game, or if it's just a frustration of practice, what it is. That's gonna be very interesting to see. Purdy's pretty much named the starter. They basically the only way he basically loses is if they melt, according to the 49ers coach. Another guy named starter, Anthony Richardson, starting week 1 for the Colts. New era in the 317, going to be truly awesome. Very excited for that. They drafted him 4th overall. I mean, Gardner Minshew is going to be an awesome backup for him. Truly, I think he's going to give him a lot of insight and everything. By the way, I did this whole episode and forgot to change my scrolling bar. That is on me. We are doing the NFC South Breakdown. I was just... Man, boy, I was so excited. I guess I was so excited. I totally forgot to change my sound bar. Jesus, scroll bar. I just fit. By the way, this show is also brought to you by Stare Down Sports, partner with Stare Down Sports. Man, what am I doing, bro? I'm a mess. Absolute mess. All right, here we go. This is JCPod077, brought to you by Stare Down Sports, partner with Stare Down Sports. NFC South Breakdown. Let's try that again. But yeah, like I said, Anthony Richardson started. Very excited for that. And that's basically where I'm going to end the news today. Hilarious that I go through the whole news section now, just realize all my stuff's wrong, but it is what it is. So yeah, basically that means we're going to, I guess it leaves us with the NFC South Breakdown. So, I mean, when it comes to this division, like I said, this was this and the NFC North were the two hard ones where it's like, man, I don't know what I'm doing. Obviously, I have an idea, but it's like, these are the two divisions where it's like, there are a few guys where I'm like, I could see that team winning. I could see that team winning. Between these two divisions, because, yeah, like, I even had one of my buddies who's a Bears fan call me yesterday, and, like, he was kind of talking to me about how they were like, hey, the Bears are going to win, like, first off, he said they're going to win 12 games. I'm not going to do all that, but he was talking about how they have a chance to do something this year. I'm like, honestly, I mean, they truly do. Their division is kind of wide open. But, hey, I won't lie to you. My boy said 12 wins. It's like, hey, man, I appreciate it. Hey, I appreciate the optimism. But we'll start with the team with the QB battle. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Their QB battles between Baker Mayfield, Kyle Trask. I would not be shocked if Baker Mayfield started the season, but we might end up seeing Kyle Trask because that's what it sounds like. Running back wise, I got Rashad White, Chase Edmonds, Keyshawn Vaughn, and Sean Tucker. For Sean Tucker, we might end up seeing him sometime in the season. He was really good for Syracuse. I didn't know he went to the Broncos. Buccaneers. That's a great ad. Wide receiver wise, Chris Godwin, Trey Palmer because of the injury now, Mike Evans, Devin Tompkins, David Moore. Tight end wise, Cade Cotton, Ko Kieft, Payne Durham, and then Tristan Wirfs on the offensive line, who's the stud. He's been in the news recently saying he's losing a little bit of confidence. Hopefully he can get it back because he's truly really good. Vita Vea on the defensive line, and then defensive wise, Devin White, Levante David, Shaquille Barrett, Jamel Dean, Ryan Neal, Antoine Walker, Carlton Davis. Schedule wise, we'll just run through the schedule real quick because this is a team over. It's going to be a rough year for the Bucs. I think over under is 6.5. The over is plus 116. Under is minus 142. They're plus 750 to win the division. I mean, this is probably gonna be a rough year for the Bucs. They're basically on their first full year without Tom Brady. They didn't have Tom Brady. They had Tom Brady last year, but they didn't have Tom Brady last year. They had him, but they had a bad version of him. Bucs schedule wise, they have a bye week 5. Absolutely terrible and brutal. A horrendous bye. Vikings, Bears, Philadelphia Eagles, Saints, bye. Lions, Falcons, Bills, Texans, Titans, 49ers, Colts, Panthers, Falcons, Packers, Jacksonville, New Orleans, Carolina. Not the hardest schedule in the world, but not the easiest, man. If you really truly look at that schedule, their defense should be all right this year. Offensively, I don't know what the hell they're going to be this year. They could be really good. They could be really bad. They could be really, really bad. I mean, I just don't know. Baker has shown some awesome stuff that one game where he basically joined the Rams 48 hours before they were able to do anything. By the way, I just got a notification from Ian Rappaport. Following the injury to Marlon Humphrey, the Ravens are hosting Ronald Darby. Not going to be shocked. They're probably going to end up signing him because that's a huge need for the Ravens. Like I said, they're very thin at the quarterback. Very, very, very thin. But yeah, when it comes back to the Bucs, I don't think I'm expecting much from this year. One thing I do like is Mike Evans to have 10 receiving touchdowns at plus 470. Regardless of who's in there, Mike Evans usually gets about 1,000 receiving yards. His touchdowns were kind of down last year. I feel like this, especially now with Russell Gage out, I know he's not the biggest name, but that back end of receiver is starting to get a little thin. So it's just, they only have so many weapons. So I like the idea of Mike Evans being one of the ones to get a lot of the main targets. I'm probably going to lean the under, minus 142. I think they're probably going to get about 6 wins-ish. I don't think it's going to be a 7-10 team. I think it's going to be one of the teams where they're going to be in the top 5 picks for next year, and they might use it on the quarterback. Maybe even get Drake May. But like I said, the fact that they wanted Kyle Trask to start, they brought in Baker and him are battling. I think tells you all you need to know. Nothing against those two guys. I don't know what's going to be with that team this year. I just don't. I have the most confidence. I think Baker could be decent, but I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be decent enough to get him into the playoffs. Now we'll move on to the Carolina Panthers. And you know what? Actually, to finish the Bucs, I'll finish off the Bucs real quick. Man, they're just gonna have a rough. I mean, they're dealing with a little bit of injuries too. When it comes to this Bucs team, I'm just, like I said, not only am I confused with them, I just don't know who they're going to be this season. Their defense could take a step down, even though they still have a decent amount of names. Offensively, are they going to take a step down from where they were last year? I mean, their offense wasn't the best last year at some point. This This team is very confusing to get a read on. I think they're probably going to be about last in the division. I don't think they're going to do too much. I think I'm going to lean under, yeah, like I said. I'll move on to the Panthers now. Bryce Young at quarterback, Andy Dalton, Matt Corral. Backups, running back-wise, Miles Sanders, Chuba Hubbard, Raheem Blackshear, not bad, not bad. Wide receiver-wise, Adam Thielen, DJ Chark, Jonathan Mingo, Terrence Marshall, Laviska Shenault, and Hayden Hurst, Ian Thomas tight end. I mean, offensively, that's not a bad unit at all. They got some decent names. Wide receiver room could be a little more stronger, but it's not terrible. Defensive line-wise, Derek Brown, Shai Tuttle, Henry Anderson, Brian Burns, Shaq Thompson, Justin Thomas, Dante Jackson, Von Bell, Xavier Woods, J.C. Horn. J.C. Horn, man, if he can keep staying healthy, he's going to be really, really special. He's a really good corner for them. This Panthers team, man, they're going to be sneaky this year. I think they're going to be a sneaky third place in the division. I just think the Falcons and Saints are slightly better, especially the Saints with their easy schedule that we'll get to in a minute. But this team has the Panthers have Week 7 bye, not the worst, not the best, but Falcons, Saints, Seahawks, Vikings, Lions, Dolphins, bye week, Texans, Colts, Bears, Dallas, Tennessee, Tampa Bay, New Orleans, Atlanta, Green Bay, Jacksonville, Tampa Bay. Pretty wide open schedule. It's just basically going to come down to what is Bryce Young going to do this year. Bryce Young is the first overall pick that they chose. The NFL drafted this last season. He's been nothing but hype basically in camp. I mean, he's gotten a lot of good news around him. Everything surrounding him has been promising and pleasant. Mental-wise, he's doing amazing. Preseason game-wise, he seemed to know when to get the ball out of his hand and get it out the right. He only played like 3 drives, though, so it's hard to get a hard beat. But it just felt like, seeing what we've seen so far from the Panthers, it feels like they might really be decent. I think Frank Reich's going to do a little bit better than he did with the Colts. I think he just got stuck kind of with the Colts. I think he just kind of got like stuck in the mud. His voice wasn't coming all the way through. Yeah, I just think it was just really rough for his tenure at the Colts, especially after they got Carson Wentz to just start going downhill from there, basically. And so hopefully he does better in Carolina. Like I said, Andy Dalton is also going to be an awesome backup to help Bryce Young. He came out in the Hard Knocks when they talked to Aaron Rodgers at the joint practice, being like, yeah, this guy's helped me out so much. I always am bombarding with questions, asking. That's another thing that apparently is awesome, is that Bryce Young's taking kind of command where he's asking a lot of questions, telling offensive linemen, like, hey, this is what I'd like to do, this is what I'd like to see. That's just something truly awesome you love to see out of the young guy, because the young kid taking over like that, I mean, it's his offense, going to be his offense here in the future, especially if he plays amazing. So the fact that he's already trying to take command, get things the way he likes it, I think this is a team that could truly be special. Over-unders at 7.5, minus 120 for the over, minus 102 for the under. I tend to lean under. I think they're going to be about 7 wins. This is another one of those lines where I think it's perfect. 7.5 is a perfect number because it's probably going to end up about 7. Then to win division, plus 360. Not bad odds at all if you think they really have a shot. Their defense is going to be really good again this year, I feel like. They had a really good defense last year, and it might just be just as good. Sanders to 10 rushing touchdowns. Miles Sanders, it is plus 450. Tempting. He hurt his groin, though, right now, so I'm going to probably lean off it a little bit, but that's something I'm going to keep my eye on. Just simply for the fact I think Miles Sanders is decent. I think that he's going to get bulk of their carries, especially when it comes to the red zone, just because, I mean, you heard the depth chart I named. Not many names behind him, but we're going to hold off just for a little bit. But yeah, I think that about does it for the Panthers. Like I said, I kind of like the Sanders rushing, but probably I'm not going to take it. A lot of the season specials for these last, 8 teams have not been very good compared to some other teams. I guess we'll go next to the Falcons, over under 8.5. Over minus 122, under plus 106 or something around those lines. Division, for them, one division plus 210. I tend to lean over. I think this will be a 9-8 team. I think that this will be a 9-8 team, so this is probably an over I'm taking. Falcons, when it comes to their depth chart, Desmond Ridder, Taylor Heineke. Really, really good backup there. Running back-wise, Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier, Cordell Patterson. Wide receiver-wise, Drake London, Matt Collins, Scoot Miller, Scott Miller. Actually, I don't think that's Scotty Miller. That might be Scotty Miller. I think that's Scotty Miller. I can't tell. There might be somebody different. Tight end-wise, Kyle Pitts, Johnny Smith. Defensive-wise, This is where Calais Campbell went? Oh. Calais Campbell, Grady Jarrett. Troy Anderson, Bud Dupree, A.J. Terrell, Jesse Bates, Jeff Okuda, Richie Grant. This is going to be a really good team. They're sneaky good. There's a lot of sneaky names right there. It's going to come down to their quarterback play, obviously. which is a lot of what it comes down to a lot of these teams. Schedule-wise, Week 11 bye, that's a lot better. Carolina, Green Bay, Detroit, Jacksonville, which I'm pretty sure is overseas because there's an asterisk by it. So, and it's a neutral site game. I just don't remember where it's at overseas. Probably London, if I had to guess. Houston, Washington, Tampa Bay, Tennessee, Minnesota, Arizona, bye. New Orleans, New York Jets, Tampa Bay, Carolina, Indianapolis, Chicago, New Orleans. I think this team is going to be really, really special next year. It's all going to depend on Desmond Ridder, but man, Bijan Robinson, I wanted to take one of his bets, but his specials were like 15 rushing touchdowns. Like, okay. I know they're going to run the ball a lot, but come on, man. 15 for a rookie already. That's a lot, man. But I do like... I ended up actually not taking anything because, yeah, a lot of their season specials were a little bit whack. I don't know how much they're going to pass. I don't know what to expect from Desmond Ridder year 2. That's just basically where all the questions come. I don't know what this offense is going to be under a full season with Desmond Ridder after a full off season of actually getting to learn the offense. I think there's a lot of promise, a lot of potential. I truly don't know. I'm very curious to see what happens. I mean, I'm excited for this Falcon team. I think plus 210 to win the division. There's some real odds there. There's a real chance they do. It's just really going to come down to are the Saints a little bit less good than we thought they are, because their schedule's going to be really easy. I can't wait to read that out. I mean, the NFC South's got a really, really nice division and schedule-wise. So, I mean, they truly do have a chance to actually do something special. And like I said, that's why I tend to lean the Falcons over 8.5 at -122. I wouldn't mind them to win the division if you think they're going to do it. I just don't know. I'll let you know what I think for sure at the end. For now, the New Orleans Saints, Derek Carr, Jameis Winston, your 2 quarterbacks. Alvin Kamara is going to be suspended the first 3 games, so that means Jamal Williams, Kendry Miller. Darrell Williams will be the 3, but Kendry Miller's just hurt with his knee again, so I don't know what's going to end up happening with him. Chris Olave, Michael Thomas, Rashid Shaheed, Traquan Smith. Those are some of the wide receivers. Juwan Johnson, Taysom Hill, Foster Moreau, and Jimmy Graham are all the tight ends. I mean, they got tight ends out the wazoo. Jimmy Graham's going to be there if, have 11 targets for 10 catches and 8 touchdowns on the year or something like that. He's going to finish with a stat line like that. Shout out this team. Adam Prentice and Jake Vargas are the 2 fullbacks. Cameron Jordan, defensive line-wise, with Carl Granderson, Pete Werner, Demario Davis, Zach Bond, Paulson Adebo. I mean, some of these names are tough, man. They got some tough names down in the Bayou. Tyrann Mathieu, Marcus May, Marshawn Lattimore to round out the defense. Schedule-wise, the Saints have the easiest schedule in the NFL. I think this is almost confirmed. It's either the easiest or it's like the top 3 easiest. Week 11 bye too, so it's very promising. Tennessee, Carolina, Green Bay, Tampa Bay, New England, Houston, Jacksonville, Indianapolis, Chicago, Minnesota, Atlanta, Detroit, Carolina, New York, Los Angeles Rams, Tampa Bay, Atlanta Falcons. They got an easy schedule, boy. I mean, this schedule is seriously like I said, top 3 easiest in the NFL. Like, confirmed amongst all the NFL people, like, oh yeah, they got top 3 easiest schedule. And with the new quarterback in Derek Carr, they have a lot of potential. So 9.5, the over's at +114, under's -140. I'm taking the over, baby. I think this is going to be a 10-win team. Their defense is really, really good. Really, really good. Derek Carr just has to be average, basically, or be like, if Derek Carr is what he was in Vegas, I would say, even as like 2 years ago, last year maybe not, but like 2 years before that, I think that should be enough for the Saints with all the talent they have. I like Cameron Jordan, 10 sacks is +200. I really like that. That's probably something I'm going to take. I think their defense is going to have a chance to be able to hunt this year, being up a little bit, especially with the teams they play. Like I said, I think they're going to be able to get to some early leads in games that allow their defensive line or pass rushers to hunt. So, 10 sacks for +200. Really like that. If you think Derek Carr's going to be special, 30 passing touchdowns +390. Tempting. I won't know for sure. I'll let you guys know for sure when I give out my futures episode next week. But past that, they're winning the division. They're +130, favorites to win the division. I really like the Cameron Jordan 10 sacks. I really, truly like that because I think with the potential their offense has this year, they're going to be playing up from a lot of games, so they have a chance to basically let the pass rushers pin their ears back and rush the passer. But yeah, it's probably, like I said, that's probably where I'm going to – I probably like their over. I think 9.5, +114. I think this minimum. I think they're going to go 10-7. They should win the division, which I guess that's where I picked to win the division, man. I think I'm going to go Saints, Falcons, Panthers, Bucs in that order. The reverse order of what I announced it. I think the Saints, just because of the easy schedule too, I think Derek Carr's not going to have to try too hard. Because especially some of the quarterbacks they don't play the best quarterback names. So, I mean, truly, if Derek Carr can just be a little bit above average, they should have truly a special season. But that's probably what I'm going to call it for today. I don't think I have much more to give you guys. Like I said, Saints, over 9.5, plus 114. I have them first place in division. Falcons, second place, over 8.5. I like them to win 9 games. Plus 210 to win division if you like them. Plus 130 for the Saints. But number 3 is Panthers at 7.5. A 10 million under. I think they're going to be about 7-10, or maybe 8-9, something like that. So maybe if it's over, it's going to be barely over. And then Bucs, I'm going to take the under 6.5. I think they're going to finish about 6 at best. And then when it comes to my favorite bets, Cam Jordan 10 sacks plus 200. Love that. And then Mike Evans 10 receiving touchdowns at plus 470. Those are the 2 for sure. I love this episode that you're probably going to hear on my futures episode. But yeah, like I said, that's going to do it for the week. Plans for next week, I think it's just going to be like a news breakdown, maybe a futures episode. I don't know what day, but if it's not next week, it'll be the following week. We're going to definitely talk some college football that Thursday of next week because that's when it starts. Man, bro, I'm so juiced. 2 weeks from now, 2 weeks from now, I should be almost giving. I should be giving out my NFL picks. 3 weeks from now. 3 weeks from now, I'll be breaking down the Kansas City game, talking about who I picked between them and the Lions. I mean, it's truly awesome, man. So yeah, appearing on Captain by Hook with Redbeard tomorrow. Tuesday, we're gonna do probably just NFL news. We'll do NFL news, and there'll be something else I talk about that I'm excited for when it comes to NFL and college football. Thursday will be more NFL news, more college football talk. I mean, hey, man, we're basically right there. And then we might have a futures episode as well. I still need to figure that out, but I'll let you guys know, obviously. Shout out Stare Down Sports. That's where you can, me and my boy, Rowan, who's the captain of the Hook. That's basically where you'll see all of our articles, a lot of the other stuff that we're doing. That's not just put out here, that's also put out on there. So yeah, if you're interested in that, feel free to check that out. But hey, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for the support. Appreciate it all. Been awesome, man. Been an awesome breakdown series. This is year 2 of the breakdowns. Ooh, man. 3 weeks, like I said, 3 weeks from today, there is NFL football. I can't wait, man. I truly can't wait. I will see all you guys tomorrow who are going to see Captain by the Hook with the red beard. And for those of you who don't, I will see everybody else back on Tuesday on this feed.